We have an epidemic of sexualized violence in our society, and we're not calling it that, but it is an epidemic.
Everyone has the right to decide what happens to their bodies. So in the past, it has been said that no means no, and that's a catchphrase that people have used.
And people will say, oh, he lost control. Well, no, he was trying to maintain control.
We are Warmland Women's Support Services Society. Our mission is to preserve the dignity and respect of survivors of violence in our community, so supporting women and self-identified women who are transgendered, and its impact on women, youth, and families in the Cowichan Valley.
How safe do you feel at the moment? Does the offender know who you are? Does he know where you live? Because there is the transition house. If you need a referral to the transition house, we can support you with that. Were there witnesses? Like, who else saw this event? What was happening? Was he alone? Did he have friends with him?
Alcohol could be a contributing factor because I believe it takes away the inhibition that would prevent you from doing something otherwise.
A lot of people are facing extreme violence, and it would not be safe to kick, scream, and fight back. So that's another myth that we need to break down in our society.
Part of your rights as a victim of crime, there's different benefits that you're entitled to. I think one of the best benefits for survivors of sexualized violence is that they can cover the cost of counseling. Our society tends to put the focus on her. What were you doing? Why did you do that? Why were you with that person? Why were you drinking? Why were you wearing the short skirt? All of our focus and attention is on the survivor, what they did, what they didn't do. We really need to shift our focus in our society away from the survivor who has experienced the violence to the offender, to the person who has made a deliberate choice to act out that violence. And we need to start asking those questions. Why were you there? Why were you drinking? Why were you using substances? Why did you choose this person? Like, all those questions need to be about the offender's choice as opposed to the survivor's choice.
I believe that we can help other men become more accountable, help them create their own safety plans. You know, what are your triggers? What makes you feel angry? And how do we stop that before the anger comes to the surface? Do you need to go outside, take a deep breath? Do you need to call somebody? The support is out here.
We've done so much safety planning for women. Stay together in groups, protect your drink, don't leave your drink unattended, right? Know who you're going out with, have a backup plan, safety plan with your friends. We've talked about so many actions for survivors or for women to take to prevent the likelihood of rape or sexual assault. And we really need to shift our conversation away from that. We still do the safety planning because it's important and necessary, but we really need to focus on prevention and raising awareness.
Is it okay to come forward and help our sisters and mothers and daughters and you know, stand by their side?
We're all people, right? So we all have a role to play, and we all have a place in that, right?
There's this growing global movement of allied men coming forward to confront other men's use of violence. So the men are sort of holding more of the responsibility for, you know what, this isn't a women's issue, this is a men's issue. So how are the men going to step up and address that? And bringing that all together, right? It needs all of our gender perspective. The Sexual Assault Advocate Program is a project funded by the Department of Justice Canada, responding to survivors of sexualized violence or exploitation.
It's the role of the advocate to just offer a supportive person to be with you during a time that's difficult. A lot of people don't have anyone to go with them to the hospital for the forensic nurse examiner appointment, or they don't have anyone to take them to their doctor's appointment, or they may be frightened about going to court and they want someone to sit beside them. So rather than offering counseling or opinions or advice, It's up to us to be with the client to help guide them through the route that's best for them that they choose.
So if that sounds okay to you, we'll go ahead and fill out that application. It doesn't, whether they want to report to the authorities or not, that's always the client's choice. They know what is best for them and for their healing. They know what is the safest response to, perhaps they know the offender.
Together we can stop the violence. And I believe that men have been the piece of the puzzle that's missing.
We need to be more proactive. That means we do need to get into the schools. We do need to be having conversations at a young age. Sexual health education is very important, and that's important at a young age in order to keep children safe so that they know when something happens to them at the moment that that's not okay.
There is a whole role for community to step up to and respond differently and become more than a bystander.